And we are back. Now we come to a man of character and determination. A man who you haven't seen behind the camera because the camera doesn't shoot backwards, directing our show, Poet to Poet, and co-producing it simultaneously. A man who writes, well, he's nitroglycerin in his poetry because he can blow anybody right out of the water and out of the land. And he's also the managing editor of Medicinal Purposes, a literary review. And if I went through his whole bio or rap sheet, whatever you prefer, we wouldn't have any time for the poetry. So let's bring on Thomas M. Catterson. Thomas, welcome to the business end of the camera.
Hello, Robert. It's strange being here.
A lot of people have said that.
You know, after 70 shows, finally I'm sitting here. Mm-hmm. It's about time.
Yeah. Just couldn't resist the temptation any further.
Couldn't resist it anymore.
Here we go. All right.
But then again, I'm with Charlene, so it makes it easy.
Hey. Hey, do we treat you right or what?
Absolutely.
Now, how about treating us right? Let's have a poem.
The first piece deals, the first couple of pieces will deal with the deaf. And this collection is written through the eyes of somebody that's deaf, not about the deaf. And the simplest way to start it off with is introduce you to the title of this piece, Silent Listener. This is about the means or the way that the deaf can hear. And I think the poem will explain it better. Silent Listener. Imagine you hear no sounds, yet the band plays on in a club with dancers pressed close. You pray for vibrations to touch the soles of your feet, but the floor, it's made of concrete, and porous walls absorb the beat. Thus you sat incomplete. That is until you realize your magic feet with a child's balloon blown before your teeth. Now, the tips of your fingers can enjoy this treat and absorb the sounds of this dancer's retreat.
How do you manage to project yourself into the persona of a deaf person, seeing that your hearing is pretty good?
Family. Mm-hmm. I have family that are deaf, and association. When I went to learn sign language and everything else, I found that they were probably the most intelligent people I've ever met in my life. Number one, the standard egotisms that we go through in the hearing world, they've learned to put in its proper perspective on the bottom of the list. And so I just relate to them. I just feel it.
Okay. How about another poem?
All right. This one here, again, dealing with the same subject, it's called Sounds. Do they really exist? Vibrations, they really mean something, but I don't know. I sense a rhythm within their pulse, some of elation, some I disdain. But vibrations substantiate the fact that sound really exists, or do they? The stomp of your foot like the flick of a light captures my attention, for then my eyes will hear your words through the forming of your lips, or possibly the gyrations of your hands. But I still don't know. I see double meanings and slight innuendos when your body is ill at ease. Is my voice too loud? Are my words clear? Did I misunderstand you when you turned your head to leer, or miss words meant to jeer? I still don't know. For I have crossed the path you fear. I espy the closed caption of your tears. So please help me, for I still don't know what it is to hear.
Nice.
Well, Charlene is spellbound.
Yes, beautiful poem.
Let's see. You have a great many subjects in your in your repertoire there, and I wanted to coax one of the war poems out of you, at least one.
All right, dealing with Vietnam. Actually, there's 3 shorties I'd like to read. The first one deals with the vet when he returned. It seems like people in this country couldn't reach the politicians, so they took it out on the servicemen when he come back. I know, I was one of them. And this one's called The Vet's Return. They say he shows a dusky breeze within his age and saddened face. He seeks freedom from not knowing what barriers occupy his space. All while the street forest echoes in mirth. He steps among renewed peers. They sneer. He sighs. The next piece deals with, actually, it deals with a Marine in April 1970, and this is his memory. And from my collection, most of the work is about other vets through their eyes. And it's called My Stigma. The last few days I've had nightmares unnamed. They turn me up, then the picture is lost as I awake. This morning when I awoke, I knew the blood was still upon my hands 24 years later today. In country that day, I tripped into a hole my hands had found, the chest cavity of my foe. I cannot wash my hands away. The last piece I'll do is my story. Halloween 1966, the ultimate trick-or-treat. We went to board a junk with 14 people on board, and one of them was a 12-year-old girl. And they decided to kill us. Instead, they died. And this is her story, and it's called Forever 12. What do I accomplish when I shout, "Hey, little sister, this is not my day"? Bullets and blisters and material objects flying about on both our boats. Hey, little sister, what's this about? That's no toy you hold in your arms, spitting destruction pointed our way. Hey, little sister, put it away. When we boarded and I saw your face, or wonderment at your fate, torn and shattered, no more play. Hey, little sister, was it mine? Hey, little sister, you will sleep, but not I.
It's a frightening world you paint in these poems.
The world is called reality, Robert, and war is not for anybody. Some of us got caught up in it, and matter of fact, all of us did.
I'd like to switch gears, though, and take a moment to investigate the Thomas M. Catterson writing process. You've taught a couple of workshops. What gets you started?
Actually, I've been writing since 1968. I always just loved to write. And it's to me today, even with publishing rights and everything, still a hobby. It gives me pleasure, and so when I have an opportunity to share it, I can't resist it. And it's as simple as that.
And now we're coming to your specialty, I think.
Which one?
Your interest in the Chinese forms.
Yes.
Yes.
The Chinese Shi form. It's a form which enables me to use a short amount of words to get a thought across. And it sounds like free verse, except it's metered, so it challenges me. It definitely is the hardest of all Oriental forms, and harder than most Western forms. And I was fortunately trained by a Chinese poet in 1970 by the name of Ming Wu, who disappeared in mainland China about 5 years ago. All right, I'm sorry to say, I wish I knew his fate, and I hope he's still alive. But he taught me first the stop short, which in Chinese is a chuk-chu, or a four-line epigram. And after that, I started writing lushis and kushis, which are longer verses. But it'd take too much time to explain it all.
But a demonstration wouldn't hurt at all.
A demonstration.
Remember, don't get too risque. It's a family show.
Oh, yes, definitely. Definitely. A lot of my latest pieces deal with the streets. And this is stop short number 102, and I number them for convenience. And it goes like this. This night I am under a lamppost. A child watches me, unattended and unafraid. Shadows distort her stature, yet she smiles. Now it is I who feels discomfort.
Slip another one in.
Shadows reign beyond the lamppost. Squirrels race towards winter's rest. The homeless dream about dawn. As coffee costs today $2.
To say nothing of gasoline. You were discussing the structure of the stop short for a moment, but I also wanted to get into the purpose for a moment, in that it really has to hit the audience.
Yes, the stop short, all right, is a poem that ends in a shock, an awareness, a surprise, discontentment. All right, the words are abrupt in its use. All right, and but the sense goes on. It's a continuous thought. It's a single thought carrying. All right, sort of like in a rat-a-tat form.
Right.
The Chinese language is a sing-song, sharps and flats. So to create it from the English side, punctuation becomes vital.
Okay, let's get another one in then.
All right.
Let's demonstrate.
Alone I sit in a darkened park. My bench is splintered, the ground frozen. Strewed about are too many dead branches. Scattered within winter winds, I hear screams. The beauty of this is that they're not always soft, but let me give you a soft one.
Okay.
Yesteryear, I left your company. You are a wondrous creation. Your beauty siphons my lust. But dreams do little to compensate.
And do you have a signature stop short that we can run on the air?
No, we can't run it on the air.
I know your normal one, but...
Let's graduate up a little. I'm going to do what's called a lu shi.
Yeah.
It's an 8-line regulated verse, and it's called aftermath, afterthought.
Right.
It was not my time. I could never understand why, because definitely I'm not perfect. What drives me to live and savor thoughts of mortality? Times I ponder in anger, which leaves me more perplexed. Other times I just exist. So why can't I cry?
And that would be as good a place as any to leave it for the moment. And we'll cry when the camera is off, because we won't have any more Thomas and Catterson poetry today, or Charlene Babb Nadel. I want to thank you both for coming on, and until next time, this is Robert Dunn for Poet the Poet, saying cognito ergo sum and other entertaining things. Bye.